Welcome to the Buy Canadian Super Hour. Excited to have you here for episode 4, and we're all about Canadian products and Canadian brands. The Buy Canadian group is bringing together a curation of the best Canadian brands into the first online department store with all Canadian goods. And we're excited to have you here as part of this pre-launch community. We've got a great show for you planned for today. We're going to be moving some products. We're going to be talking to Phil Kluba from Tall Boy Water, learning about his business. We're going to be playing some games. And as always, or now that we've been doing this, we're going to have our giveaway. So I'm going to get that started right now. So basically, the giveaway allows you to put in your email, and we're going to be doing draws during the show. And you'll have a chance to win a 20% coupon for next week's Buy Canadian Super Hour. We are live every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time on buycanadian.tv. We're also multi-streaming across social, both on the social networks of Buy Canadian, and also today we want to welcome those watching on the Tall Boy Water channels, Phil Kluba's channel, who was kind enough to allow us to multi-stream out to his audience and try to bring some more people into the community. And what I like to encourage is those of you who are watching on the social networks, come on over to buycanadian.tv. You can have that real-time interactive experience. You can purchase items right on screen. You can participate in the giveaways, in our interactive votes and games. We're also going to be playing some games today. We're going to be doing round 4 of the Canadian or Not Challenge. We've got a whole bunch of cool new things to see if you guys can figure out whether they are Canadian or not. This week, we're going to be focused on Canadian inventions. As well, you can shop throughout this show. So in the chat room, when you're watching on buycanadian.tv, you can go to the shop tab, and all the products that we're going to be featuring today are available for you to purchase live during the show. When someone makes a purchase, we will be playing this beautiful sound. Oh, let me get that a little louder so it's more effective. We're going to be playing this beautiful sound. So if you want to hear those gorgeous harps, make some purchases here on the Buy Canadian Super Hour. Of course, we have all our products always available at buycanadiangroup.ca, 24/7 online, all Canadian department store. We're out there checking who's Canadian, bringing you the best products so you have a central place where you can discover and buy all Canadian goods. Support your country, support our economy, support Canada. The Maple Leaf forever, baby. Okay, starting today's show, I wanted to continue on what we did last week, where we did a little bit of Rush trivia. This time, I want to do a spotlight on Oscar Peterson. So Oscar Peterson's a great Canadian musician. I'm going to give you some facts. We're going to bring up an album that you can actually buy. But before we do that, let's get the giveaway started. I'm going to start that now. I'll leave it active throughout, so you can enter your email for a chance to win that coupon. So the giveaway is now open. But before we go ahead and bring in our special guest, I wanted to do this spotlight on Oscar Peterson. So as I mentioned last week, we have this really cool brand in our store, Vinyl Pursuit, out of British Columbia, I believe. And they are selling all kinds of cool Canadian vinyl. In fact, we had some cool people purchasing Oscar Peterson this week. Someone bought the Canadiana suite, which is really cool. It's like his symphonic ode to the different regions of Canada. Today, we're going to be featuring an album called Karaoke, a rare German pressing. And I'm going to give you a little bit of info on Oscar Peterson. Of course, when we're selling these albums, they're one of a kind. So it's basically first come, first serve. If you buy the album, I'm going to play the sound. Oh, yeah. And then we can move on. But let's talk a little bit about Oscar Peterson and learn a few things, because he is a really interesting Canadian musician. I got a bunch of fun facts, and I can tell you a little specifics around this album too while we're getting started, while the group is joining. I encourage you to put questions in the chat, take advantage of the community. We're going to be having a real fun time here today. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Oscar Peterson and I did a little bit of research last night so I could share with you, because I don't know if everybody knows, A, that he's Canadian, and B, some of the amazing accomplishments from his career. So I'll just share some of this with you. So Peterson recorded over 200 albums. That's pretty impressive. He also earned 8 Grammys, really giving some big wins to Canada. And he won a Lifetime Achievement Award across a full 60-year career. The legend Duke Ellington nicknamed Peterson the Maharaja of the keyboard after hearing his blazing swing feel. Interestingly, he was a bit of a child prodigy. At just 14 years old, Oscar Peterson won the CBC's National Music Competition in 1940. 1940, wow. And he left high school to turn professional right away. So it's pretty cool that CBC was able to really help some of these Canadian artists get established worldwide. I think one of the most interesting pieces of information about Oscar Peterson is that his composition, the Hymn to Freedom, it was written during his night train sessions, and it became an unofficial anthem of the U.S. Civil Rights Movement. So I think that's a pretty cool claim to fame. He was also promoted to the Companion of the Order of Canada, which is Canada's highest civilian honor, in 1984. And between 1991 and 1994, he served as the Chancellor of York University. So I guess he was helping with education as well. In 1993, Peterson had a stroke which paralyzed his left side, but yet he completely relearned the piano and toured for another 13 years. Really incredible. Night Train from 1963 remains his best-selling album. It's prized for its radio-friendly grooves and tight trio interplay. And as I was mentioning, his 1965 Canadiana Suite is an 8-part jazz portrait of Canada's landscapes from coast to coast. And that's one of the albums that was purchased on the by CanadianGroup.ca Superstore. We got a lot of Canadian albums up there, so check it out. It's pretty fun to have this nice collection of Canadian music. And finally, in terms of fun facts, Oscar Peterson in 1993 became the first non-classical musician to win the prestigious Glenn Gould Prize. So really illustrious and amazing career. Let's talk a little bit about the Karaoke album. It's a very unique and rare piece, I suppose. As I said, this is a one-of-kind we're selling here. Not one-of-a-kind, but one-of-a-kind in our store, certainly. So the album that we're featuring on screen, Karaoke, it was recorded between December 12th and 14th in 1966 at Universal Recorders Chicago. And the same takes that were recorded there were issued by Limelight under the title Soul Espagnol in 1967. What you're looking at here and what we're selling today is the German retitle. So that was retitled Karaoke for the Happy Bird label, and it spotlighted the Vincent Youmans tune that opens side A. Well, we can get really into the catalog, but I think the earliest documented copy date for this was 1978. And it's a genre of Latin-infused piano trio jazz, bossa nova, samba, Latin bop, etc. On the album plays, of course, Mr. Oscar Peterson on piano, Sam Jones on the double bass, Louis Hayes on drums, and Henley Gibson on the conga, including as well Marshall Thompson on the timbales and Harold Jones with additional percussion. So I'm going to keep this up there for a little while. You can always buy in the chat room under the shopping tab. So even if I'm not featuring it here at the top of the screen, you can go ahead and buy it at any time during the show. Okay, fantastic. So I think next up, we want to go ahead and bring up our special guest. So today we have Phil Kluba joining us, and he is the founder of Tall Boy Water. So I'm going to bring Phil on and we can have a little chat. Well,
Hey.
bring you on properly here. Whoop, there you are.
Oh, hey, there you there I am, and
Yeah, I
there
got
you
you on the
are.
top this time.
Um,
How
cool,
how's
cool.
it
Yeah,
going? Nice to have you here. Can you hear me okay?
it's it's going well. I hear you okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound fantastic.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's very cool. Yeah, any questions about Tall Boy? What's going on? How's it
Yeah.
going? Also, wait, I just might wanted to make one comment. I was listening to your voice on this whole thing, and
Yes.
you sound like a radio, like something that I would hear, like on, like especially when you're talking about Oscar Peterson. I was thinking I was listening to Jazz FM or
All
something.
right. Maybe I got something
Sounded really good.
familiar
Sounded
coming
really
up.
good.
I don't know if
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
I can just credit the microphone or the
yeah,
addition of the harps, which we will play every time
yeah. It's
someone purchases some water or
well,
any
it's
product. So let me bring up the Tall Boy Water product as the feature here. Um, but before we go too far and start describing the product, and also I want to do an unboxing with some water, which you were kind enough to drop off for me yesterday. But before we do that, tell me a little bit about the business. When did Tall Boy start? What inspired it? Tell me about how it was founded, and with a particular emphasis on the Canadianness of it as well.
Well, first off, it was founded by myself and my business partner Francesco Giassoni. It all started off very simply. We were just playing tennis, so just here in Etobicoke, playing in this tennis, like a tennis court. And we're like, oh, we'd love to have a water brand come together. And then eventually, someone like reached out to me down the road somewhere, and they were like saying that they have a water brand, they want to do some collab stuff. And I just simply asked, like, hey, I would love to learn more about where you're sourcing this water. How are we do? How's this all coming together? And they're kind enough to just explain to me the whole process and told me about their suppliers, which our cans come from Quebec, and then
Cool.
our water is actually it's canned in Lanark, Ontario.
Oh, beautiful.
Um,
Lanark County
just
near Ottawa, is that right?
yeah, near Ottawa, just like near Carleton area,
Mhm.
Lanark County. And I think I can do a little thing here. I might be able to put this up, but this is my business partner.
Oh,
Um,
all
I'm
right.
just he's very happy there with the can of water. He's unfortunately he wasn't able to make it here, but that's Francesco. Yeah, so that's kind of the origin story. And then as Francesco helped, he's like our head designer and our Shopify guru and all that stuff. So he
Mm.
mocked up this logo, and then next thing you know, we did a small run, and people started asking more about it, and we founded this about in late 2023, and it's been a fun journey so
That's
far.
amazing. So I remember when I was a kid, near my family's cottage up in the Laurentians, we had like a freshwater spring on site, and we used to kind of mosey into the woods and fill up our glasses. Is it kind of similar? Like how do you actually tap spring water?
So I would have to ask my Lanark friends there, but
Yeah,
but it is spring water. And it's not filtered. It's a 7.7 pH scale, like almost like literally no fluoride. It's as natural as it can get. And then they just add a little bit of carbonation there. We
yeah,
do have a like it's not we're not as carbonated as say your Perrier's or your other competitors out there, but it is sort of like a light carbonation, sort of like emulates a beer, I would think. Um, Another thing I'd like to mention is another reason why I was very into the water thing. I When I was younger, I took a year vow of sobriety, and I was very heavily addicted to the cans of like open up Perrier cans. I think just the habit out of it all felt very
yeah.
comforting for me. So having this like sober option that just kind of gave like this. The feeling of a beer was really cool, and that's why it sort of kind of resonates like a nice little beer can that I have in my hand, but it's
Well,
just
I think
water.
that's nice. If you're trying to, cut back on beer, I would definitely go for carbonated water before some kind of near beer. Um, and is that kind of how your community looks at the tall boy water, and is that kind of the inspiration
Yeah,
behind the name?
yeah, for sure. Also, like if someone is at a party and they're trying to avoid having a drink, like they have this like disguise here where it could make it feel like, hey, no one's going to come and pressure me and say, hey, come have a drink, come have shots. It's like I already look like I'm drinking, but really it's just water. And as to your point on like a near beer or anything that has sugar in it, this doesn't have any calories in it. There's like what's the like beer can be highly caloric, so it's if you want to avoid that and just have pure hydration, you might as well just go with the tall boy.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you do? Can you tell us when this business started out?
Yeah, so I think like our official date of like incorporation and all that stuff was I think like literally September 1st, 2023.
Wow.
So I quickly went into so it hasn't been that long of a journey. And let's say, for instance, like Francesco and I are brand and marketing type people. Like
Right.
obviously we come from media backgrounds. So learning like the logistics and the food and beverage industry has been a task, but it's been very interesting to see that like a lot of people in that industry have been so giving and helpful with knowledge and presenting us with opportunities and bringing us into certain places. So we were helped out and brought into the food and drink fest at no cost, and like they just helped us position there
Wow.
through our friends at Samurai Media. And we get a lot of advice from a lot of people in the industry as well. So it's been
What are
great.
the feedback? Are most of your customers Canadian, or does this is this a great Canadian export as well?
No, predominantly we're like in the GTA, and actually we kind of started getting more traction as of late because of the whole Buy Canadian movement
Right.
happening this year. So, yeah, no, it was kind of yeah, it's like we've seen online sales increase a bit. We got into another store, Trinity Market, in on Queen Street, and we're opening up into more stores, trying to figure all that out. But it's all about the Buy Canadian movement because also uh, stores are looking for more Canadian products and they want to support. So it has been a great movement for that sense.
Cool. We're getting a couple of questions coming here, so maybe we'll bring this up. So Drude's asking about how many cans come in a pack that you're selling today. I know when you first joined the Buy Canadian Superstore, All Canadian Superstore, we were selling 2 fours. Um,
Yes.
but tell
Uh,
us about what's available today.
yeah, we kind of repositioned that, and now we're selling 12 packs. It's a little bit more digestible. It's like it's 2 4 is a big commitment, especially for a new buyer. Um, and and if you wanted to for you just buy 2 12 packs, so it's the
Right.
same thing. And then especially when you come on the website you see a smaller cost. Also adding a unit price to our thing on our Shopify has been super helpful too, because when you see this like 2 4 costs and you're like, hey, I don't want to pay this much for like
For the
water.
pack.
I think like the you just got to understand what you're getting because
Yeah.
when
You're
when you see
getting
the unit
cans
price,
that are put together in Quebec. You're getting water that's coming straight out of the earth in northeastern Ontario. You're getting the business and entrepreneurship coming in from the Toronto region. So it really is a truly Canadian product.
yeah, it's and we try to keep that too, and we make merch sometimes too. Like this is like a one-off we did for, and it was like a baseball jersey that said
Oh, that's
"Tall Boy"
great.
on it. But yeah, no, Francesco, my business partner, always has the like ideas. Definitely mocking up new things all the time. He's very inspired by the brand for sure.
Yeah, and I'm always intrigued by brands that have one product. You know, I've seen real success stories when you focus. Like we're obviously the opposite. We're trying to have as many products and product categories available to Canadians as possible, so they can have that central destination to discover and purchase at buycanadiangroup.ca. Tell me about the thinking behind one product. Now, I know you've got other products like merchandise, but really the focus is on the water.
Yeah, so we do plan to have different products down the road. It's just that we felt that starting off with carbonated was a little bit more niche than like still per se.
Mhm.
So and it allowed us to fit in certain like sponsorship opportunities a little bit better because there would always be a still sponsor in events, but then it's like, hey, there's no carbonated water sponsor. So like just it just gives us a bigger opportunity to come into the market. But we do plan to launch still, hopefully later this year, and then perhaps get into some flavors down the road. But we do also love the whole merchandising component of it, and I think something we look at sometimes is like the brand identity that Red Bull built for itself. So right now, maybe starting off with water, doing all that stuff, but perhaps events down the road and all that all that media stuff that Red Bull has created in the past.
That's super cool. I remember the brand from way back when. I don't know if they're still around, Clearly Canadian. And I always wondered why every single water had that sugar and flavor to it. I think more and more people are looking for just like a, as my buddy calls it, spicy water, like water with some bubbles, and you're
Yeah,
not rotting your teeth or drinking a ton of calories, etc.
yeah, no, it's definitely. I'm also heavily addicted to carbonated water, so I also try not to get high on my own supply of water. So because we got to sell it, so and get it out to the people.
Talk to me about the carbonation process. I've seen, those soda stream things. And, I remember when I was a kid, my dad had one of these little carbonators that you just attach a bottle to and press the button like old school. Do you guys use a big facility for that? How does that go?
So we use a facility out of Lanark, like the same people that like it's Lanark Springs are the same people that are the one that are getting our water are also carbonating it. And from my understanding, it's like an injection of CO2 just on a larger scale. So it like easily put, it is just a giant soda stream.
Right.
Like if you want to think about it, that is
Have
just
you
like a
seen it?
massive one. I have not seen it. I do have to go take a visit out there and see how that's all done. But it's been a great relationship. Like I kind of just like put this all together without even like going to these places, and we just like wung it, and it worked out. So
That's amazing.
happy that
When you do go
that
down,
happened.
take a little cell phone footage, and when we bring you
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
the Super Hour, we can show the Super Hour community like how water gets carbonated at that kind of industrial scale.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to. Yeah, I think we should go to Ottawa area soon. So hopefully this summer.
That's excellent. I want to put it out there to the audience. If you have any questions for Phil, or to talk about water or the process, or kind of like how the business came to be, I had a question about shipping water. So, when you decided to go online first, was that a consideration? Because I assume water has some weight to it, and it's not always the easiest thing to send in the mail.
Yeah, it's something I was concerned about at the very beginning myself. But as we started doing it, like trial and error, we started figuring out. And so we just put it. It's simply put just in a box. So Canada Post is very uh, they do a great job. And
Mm,
then and when going through Shopify and you connect through Shopify already has these relationships with these shippers, so we actually
right.
get a discount thanks to Shopify. So it costs less to do it through Shopify instead of going to Canada Post and be like, hey, I want to ship 12 cans. So yeah, there is a little bit of weight to it. So you're also paying less on shipping on a 12 pack as well. So that's another consideration we wanted to do. Um, but no, it's I haven't had any issues. We write fragile on the boxes. We make sure that the shipper understands that, and they take care of it.
That's amazing. I wanted to have this can with me, but I left it in the fridge because I wanted to be super cold. So why don't we take 20 seconds here, and I'm going to uh, bring up this comment from Alvin, and I'm going to let you address it while I go
Okay.
grab myself a water. I'll be back in like 10 seconds.
Okay. I went to a water tasting once where we compared the taste of Evian versus Volvic versus Fiji. Would be fun to taste Tall Boy along some other premium brands. Yeah, for sure. Our like once I believe these are mainly still water solutions, so we would love to do a comparison with still when we have that out, but also would love to do a comparison with carbonated. So, for example, your Perrier's, your Montelaires, or whatever. If anyone remembers the Pepsi challenge. That could be a cool thing to do as well. Um, yeah, I'd be curious to see what the outcome would be.
Cool. Thanks. Thanks for holding it down there for me, Phil. Look what I got,
Yeah,
though. Look at this, everybody. This is beautiful packaged water. Look at that. It's a full 6 pack, and this is ice cold. I'm going to crack one out. Let's see how that goes. Oh, look at that. All right. So let's take a good look at this can. Um,
nice.
it's a beautiful design. So that's representing the Canadian Rocky Mountains, I imagine.
Yeah, it's all Canadian, so I'm assuming it's the Canadian Rocky Mountains. But our waters isn't from the mountains, but
Right. It's from the
it is
beautiful
it's just
ancient
yeah, but
mountains.
I think it does represent Canada quite well.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I love what it says here. It says, c'est bon d'être soi-même, which is it's okay to be yourself. And I think, that's part of the community you're building here is like, hey, you
Yeah,
don't need to drink like 6 beers to have fun. Be yourself, drink some tall boy waters, and life is beautiful and you feel better the next day too.
yeah, for sure. And you can stay hydrated.
Right. All right. Well, speaking of which, shall we crack one open here?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Cheers. Here's to you, Phil. And
Mm,
here's to Canada and the Buy
cheers.
Canadian Group Super Hour and all of our wonderful community. I'm going to have a sip of this. Ah, oh, that is good.
Yeah.
That tastes like home. I'm from the Ottawa area,
Oh, that's
and this
great.
tastes
Awesome.
like the earth and the clear springs of the Gatineau Hills is fantastic. It's
Oh,
such a
wow. Yeah.
nice flavor, and you're right. It's not heavily carbonated. It's just a little hint of the carbonated spice.
Yeah,
Um,
it's good. Especially it's a hot day today, and I turned off my air conditioning, so I didn't get any like extra like noise in my microphone. So this has been it's saving my life right now.
yeah, me too. I got the door open because I also have not cracked the AC yet. Um, yes, Drews, that was a satisfying crack. It's it's really nice to have a can of something and it just satisfying. It's cool. Like the can itself is cool. It works as a way to you know uh, lower
Oh,
the
cool yourself off.
temperatures
Yeah.
on a heavy day. Um, let's see here. We're getting some notes here. Oh, so Alvin's talking about carbonated water in the grocery store. Um, President's Choice launched a flavor like mojito. Is that alcohol free, or I assume so. If it is,
Yeah.
although they're
I
now moving booze like everybody else.
Yeah, no, I've actually tried the President's Choice water. I still say like we taste different. I still say we have a different level of carbonation than all those. But yeah, I feel like everyone is starting a water brand. Even when I went to 7-Eleven recently, they had their own 7-Eleven packaged water bottles. So how do you stand out in all that noise? I think is it's marketing. Um,
Right.
I think we take a look at like our competitors down to the south. Their liquid death. Well, I actually don't view them as competitors. I kind of like they walk so we can run, but like they're building this whole canned water industry, so it leaves like room for brands like us. So pretty excited about what is in store.
Yeah, they've been super successful.
Yeah,
Definitely, probably a marketing and branding thing. And tell me about your
yeah,
marketing branding strategy. Like, obviously, I think the can is beautiful. The name is cool. Um, and I saw just looking at the your materials online that it's really about building this community. But tell me kind of your approach there.
yeah. I definitely agree about the community building thing too. And So that is our main purpose, and we try to build a lot of community around the product. But speaking of which, Francesco and I actually have a marketing meeting like later today because we plan to go very hard on it. I think
Cool.
we've set a lot of we planted a lot of seeds in a lot of places, and now it's just like we're just considering like what would push it all over. and it's like just going balls to the wall on marketing, I think. So, and our strategy is a lot of like fun digital content. I'm not sure if you've seen our like 3D renders, because like kind of know how to use After Effects, so
Oh,
we
cool. I
made
should have
some
asked
like
you
great.
to shoot me some MP4s and we could have played the video in the
Uh,
show. I didn't think of that.
yeah,
Next
no, yeah,
time.
yeah. It's all good. Yeah, so yeah, and then I guess just we're gonna think about like out of the box type stuff, and like just to be in everyone's faces all the time. Maybe start doing. I know there's some like farmers markets around us. Maybe start popping up more events, selling those things. Shopify's been super great with all the tools that they have. So
Yeah.
now like we can even like make transactions right from our phone. Like we don't need like a POS system anymore.
Oh, wow.
It's yeah, it's interesting. They're making it very easy.
I could see this being the next generation of the lemonade stand. And, every kid who's trying to make some money in the summer, they could move Tall Boy Water instead of lemonade.
Yeah. That's actually a good that could be a great marketing campaign. Like, remember the lemonade stands, and we're bringing it back. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
that
corner.
could be fun. Yeah, yeah.
That's fantastic. Um, Well, I think this is amazing, and I just wanted to thank you again for joining us today. Would you be open to coming back
Yeah.
again? We're planning a big streamathon around Canada Day, and we're going to be doing the Super Hour every Wednesday at noon. Um, would you
Yeah,
be game
I
to come and join us again?
yeah, I'd love to. Maybe we can plan something even bigger. So yeah, obviously, I'd love to put more marketing thought into it
Yeah,
next time around as well, and maybe we
maybe
can
your
plan some
partner
fun
could
stuff.
join. Maybe we could have
Yeah,
some
we could
footage,
have all of us.
like
Yeah,
behind the scenes, at how the water is um, packaged and branded.
yeah.
Uh, Thank you, Schumacher. I think I agree. It is
Thank you.
amazing branding. Um,
Thank you. Appreciate that.
okay, Phil, thank you. So, for everybody who's watching, you can buy the Tall Boy Water right on screen here. It's also available on the Buy Canadian Group Superstore, department store, I should say, super department store. It's the first online all Canadian department store. And Tall Boy Water is our first water brand there. So we're super happy to have had you here, Phil. I want to thank you again, and we're looking forward to you joining on a future episode.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for having me on today, and thank you for having Tall Boy on the department store. And I look forward to coming back.
Cheers. Thanks, Phil.
Cool. Cheers. Have a good one. Thanks.
Okay, that is amazing. I love learning about the brands that are in the all Canadian Superstore. It's really fascinating to kind of see. Um, so let's play a game. What do you say? We want to do some Canadian or not? I think that would be a lot of fun. Before we do that, let's just check the giveaway here. A reminder, if you want to qualify for the 20% off coupon for next week's show, put your email into the giveaway mechanism and we will be doing draws throughout the show. If you are watching on Facebook, if you are watching on any social network or on Phil's channels, I want to invite you all down to buycanadian.tv. That's where you can get the real-time conversational experience. You can chat with us. You can purchase items right on screen. And you can also play our games. And that's exactly what we're going to do next, which is round 4 of the Canadian or Not game. So for those of you who have not tuned in to previous Buy Canadian Super Hour episodes, the Canadian or Not game allows me to put up a picture of a person, place, or thing. And then as an audience, as a community of Canadian shoppers, you get a chance to vote on whether you think that person, place, or thing is Canadian or not. So, without further ado, I think we should get into it. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the today's Canadian or Not game will be focused on inventions. So, okay, without further ado, let's get this set up. I'm going to bring in the Canadian or Not graphic, and we will bring up our first invention. We want to know, is the pager the pager, the invention of the pager, a Canadian invention or not? So I'm going to get the vote started here. And you can all click right on screen to vote. You can vote as many times as you want. I'll let it go for a few seconds, and then we'll do a count. In the meantime, I can tell you we are seeing votes for the pager being a Canadian invention. 9 versus 5 for not Canadian. So we got the full Dolly Parton here, 9-5. We're actually up to 9 Canadian votes, 8 not Canadian votes. So it's getting very close. I'll only leave it open for a couple more seconds, and then we can give you the answer. So I'm going to count down to 2 here, and 2, 1, and I'm stopping the voting. Okay, so for the first entry, we have a final score of 14 votes Canadian, 8 votes not Canadian, and yes, that is correct. The pager is a Canadian invention. The first functional pager system was developed in 1949 at the Montreal General Hospital. So invented in the beautiful city of Montreal in the beautiful province of Quebec. Okay, let's move to the next one. So good job. We're 1 for 1 here. Let's bring in the next invention. The next invention is the lava lamp. So we want to know, is the lava lamp Canadian? I'm going to start the voting now. Please let us know. Do you think the lava lamp is a Canadian invention? So far, we're seeing all votes for not Canadian. Could it be that the lava lamp is not Canadian? Could it be that it was one of those amazing innovations that was never thought of here in the land of innovation? Let's find out. Okay, right now the votes are overwhelmingly skewed towards not Canadian. We'll give it a couple more seconds. 2, 1, and that is correct. The lava lamp is not Canadian. It was actually invented in the UK by Edward Craven Walker in 1963. That's Edward Craven Walker in 1963. Okay, one more in this round. We want to know, we're looking at Canadian inventions. We want you to vote on whether these inventions are Canadian or not. This is one of the world's best inventions, I believe. Peanut butter. Is peanut butter a Canadian invention? You can start voting now. I wonder if peanut butter was invented in Canada. So far, we have an overwhelming response and a shutout. It's 20 votes Canadian, 0 votes not Canadian. We're up to 21, 23. It seems like everybody knows that, or at least everybody thinks that peanut butter is a Canadian invention. So we'll give it a couple more seconds. 2, 1, and stopping the voting. And correct. Peanut butter is a Canadian invention. It was, if I can get this name right, Marcellus Gilmore Edson, also of Montreal, patented peanut paste in 1884. So peanut paste is patented. Who knew you could, we do patents at Stage 10 for our live shopping technology, Canadian live shopping technology. But I didn't know you could patent peanut butter. I'd probably start grinding down anything into a paste and apply for patents. Sounds like a good idea. All right. Very good. So that is 3 for 3 for you guys. Before we go to maybe some more Canadian or not activities here, I wanted to remind you that this is the Buy Canadian Super Hour. It is all about Canadian brands, Canadian products. What we're trying to do at the Buy Canadian group is create a place where you can confidently go and discover and purchase Canadian products in one place, purchase from more than one brand in a single cart. And we have a ton of products in our store. I want to just show you a couple before we do another round here. One of our best-selling items is from Genski Apparel. This easy layer cotton hoodie, cotton hooded vest, I should say. It's a beautiful item in gorgeous colors. We actually have it in both this kind of rusty brown and in black. And I thought I'd feature it here today because it's one of the items that's like moving fast off the shelves. Remember, you can purchase right here on the stream. And when you do, you're going to hear this sound. Oh, yes, sweet harps. The angels are singing for Genski Apparel. The angels are singing for Canada. Let's make some sales. Also available in the chat room on the shop tab, you can be purchasing all kinds of selected items from the Buy Canadian Superstore, including items from our previous guests, like Melissa Maker. Another one of our best sellers is the Maker's Mop and these Maker's Mini cleaning packs. Amazing products, invented in Canada, and owned by Canadians. So if you're thinking about some spring cleaning, you only got a couple more days before summer kicks in. So maybe you want to pick up a Maker's Mop. Maybe you want to pick up some Maker's cleaning cloths. And if you want to check out my interview with Miss Melissa Maker, BuyCanadian.tv also has all of the repeated shoppable replays of the Buy Canadian Super Hour. So what that means is you can watch any of our previous episodes on demand. You can still buy right on screen. We have a chat replay showing you kind of what was going on in the community at that time. Okay, I think we should play another round of the Canadian or Not game. Again, we're focused on inventions this week. So let's get that graphic back up there and bring up the fourth item. And the fourth item, I believe, is a bit of a tough one. It is the Jolly Jumper. The Jolly Jumper. Is the Jolly Jumper a Canadian invention? Let's get those votes up there. I'm just going to reset the last one. And here we go. Is the Jolly Jumper Canadian or not? I even have a different picture of the Jolly Jumper because who knew the Jolly Jumper was actually invented a long time ago. Hey, all right. We have a purchase. Thank you, Al, for purchasing an item here on the Buy Canadian Super Hour. That's what we love to see. Al, I really appreciate you buying that item. I wish I could sell you a Jolly Jumper, but it's awesome to see that you picked up one of those Genski vests, and I encourage you to send us down a picture later of yourself wearing it, and maybe we'll bring that up on the show too. So again, thank you for making that purchase. So Alexa knows that the Jolly Jumper was invented by a woman. I think, well, we're going to find out hopefully in the fun fact. Usually I have the answer there, but I also wanted to show you a picture of the original, or I think it's the original, or at least an early Jolly Jumper. So we're asking, is the Jolly Jumper a Canadian invention? So far, the votes are overwhelmingly skewed Canadian. So we're seeing 12 votes for Canadian and 1 vote for non-Canadian. I'm going to stop the voting in 2 seconds and we'll reveal the answer. Okay, so the final score is 14 Canadian, not Canadian, 1. And the answer is yes, the Jolly Jumper is a Canadian invention. It was invented, and Alexa, you're correct, by a woman, the Canadian woman Olivia Poole, in the early 20th century. Let's bring up that beautiful picture again. I don't that it doesn't look that much different from what gets sold today in stores. Okay, let's do the next one. Are you guys ready? Are you enjoying the Canadian or Not game? I always have a bit of fun with it. Okay, so let's bring in. Oh, my voice cuts. Well, we don't need to do full screen again, so we can be ready to go here. Let's bring in the next Canadian or Not item. Again, we're doing inventions today, and we are asking you if the Etch-a-Sketch is a Canadian invention, and the voting is active. The Etch-a-Sketch. So I don't know if you remember these things. You shake it, it clears. You draw with the 2 little bobbly things. They're kind of covered by the Canadian or not sign here. You can see the two bobbly things. But we're asking you, is the Etch-a-Sketch a Canadian invention or not? The Etch-a-Sketch. So far we have a tie. I'm seeing Canadian has surged out to a lead. We're seeing 8 votes Canadian, 3 votes not Canadian. And we are... Oh, Alexa, I love my Etch-a-Sketch too. I mean, it's just one of those things that feels like it's magic, right? And I don't even know how they do it with magnets or whatever. What we're asking is it a Canadian thing? And right now we're seeing an overwhelming response that the Etch-a-Sketch is Canadian, 17 votes to 3. I'm going to stop the voting here in 2 seconds. And that is it for voting. Okay, let me just check the answers here, because this one isn't obvious. And no, the Etch-a-Sketch was not a Canadian invention. We saw... Everybody seems to think it was, maybe because it's red and the screen is white and it makes us feel like Canadian flag style. But we saw 17 votes Canadian, 3 votes not Canadian. And that is our first wrong answer in 2 weeks. The Etch-a-Sketch was originally developed by the French inventor André Cassagne in the 1950s. Obviously became a major hit here in Canada because we all remember it. Yeah, as Alexa says, hopeful voting. There's been a few of those. But of course, to make this interesting, we need to show things that aren't always Canadian, right? All right, but we do have another one. And this one's pretty interesting. I'm wondering whether, the game paintball, whether paintball is Canadian. Okay, so I got some pictures of paintballs versus the pictures of people splattering them all over each other. I'm going to start the voting now. We want to know, do you think paintball is a Canadian invention or not? Is paintball Canadian or not? Right now, we are seeing Canadian out in the lead. Not Canadian is now tied it. We are seeing people aren't quite sure about this one, and maybe we've lost a little confidence after getting the last one wrong. But we are wondering whether you think paintball is a Canadian invention. Right now, I'm seeing an overwhelming surge for not Canadian at 14 votes to 1. Remember, you can vote more than once here. You can button mash. You can hit that button as many times as you want. So if you're really sure, help us win this round. We're going to close the voting in about 2 seconds. 2, 1, and okay. So we have 15 votes for not Canadian and only 1 vote for Canadian. And that is correct. Paintball is not a Canadian invention. It was actually originated in New Hampshire as a way to mark trees and cattle. Of course, the Americans figured out how to use it to as a projectile and shoot it at each other. But that's all good, a lot of fun playing paintball, I assume. I've never tried it myself. Okay, before we do any more of this, I just want to talk about what's coming up next week. Next week, we're going to be featuring Jennifer Cummins is going to be joining us from Pluck Tea. Now, Pluck Tea is, I would say at this point, an iconic Canadian brand. Pluck Tea has been around for about at least 10 years. We'll find out more when we talk to Jennifer next week. But you can see it in stores. Definitely, you can see it on the Buy Canadian online department store. And you can be purchasing it right here during the Buy Canadian Super Hour. We have a few of our products available featured on the show. Of course, you can buy any product in the online department store at buycanadiangroup.ca whenever you want. One of the cool things about buycanadiangroup.ca is we actually go through and figure out, is this product made in Canada? Is it a product of Canada? Is it Canadian owned? And does it employ Canadians? And every product you buy, we specify those items so you can make decisions that are right for you about how Canadian you want products to be. And I think it's important that we have that flexibility because there's a lot of great Canadian brands that don't necessarily make everything in Canada, but still contribute a lot to the Canadian economy. So we thought that was the the fairest way to do it, and also the most transparent way for us Canadians around the world, Canadians around the country, and friends of Canada around the world who want to be supporting Canada, supporting Canadian brands, supporting our economy. It's a really important time for Canada to kind of reorient ourselves towards helping each other, purchasing Canadian brands, and really lifting up all the amazing stuff that people do. So, oh yeah, I love Pluck Tea too, and maybe I'm gonna have a tea time with Jennifer next week. I'll see if we can arrange that. So it is going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to pick up some Pluck Tea, click right on screen and buy it, or come back anytime, or join us next week to actually meet the founder, hear her story. We have other products available here, and a complete, yes, high tea on the Super Hour. Exactly. I actually went to a high tea for the first time a few weeks ago. I'm not sure that it was for me. It was a lot of very sweet little cakes, little fish pastries. Like, I don't know what the obsession is with whipped fish these days, but and then I maybe made a mistake, and the first thing I ordered was coffee. Is that allowed at a tea? Apparently not, because they didn't even bring me a coffee. They just kind of said, "Yes, sure, you can have a coffee," and then brought me some weak tea. But if I'm drinking Pluck Tea, I'm in. I don't need any special cakes. I'm going to have high tea on the Super Hour with Jennifer next week. I hope you guys will all join me, because she's a lot of fun. I know you're going to enjoy that a lot. Okay, well, why don't we close the show with one more round of Canadian or Not? I'll leave the greatest hits sample bundle up here. So if you guys want to buy some tea, you can do that. Of course, it's not just the product I'm featuring on the screen. In the chat room, on the shop tab, you can see all the products we talked about here today. And of course, you can see the full catalog of curated Canadian brands and merchandise at buycanadiangroup.ca. Oh, cool. Colin, that's awesome. I'm seeing a note. That's great. It'll be awesome to do it while we're here, because we can play the sound, and you know how much I love the sound. Oh yeah, that's what happens when you buy during the Super Hour. We all get that beautiful patriotic Canadian feeling. Okay, let's close this with one more round of Canadian or Not, because I always have a lot of fun with that, and I love the interactive part of that. So we do have we have 3 more Canadian inventions. So far, we are batting 5 of 6, which is pretty good. So, okay, let's reset the poll here. I'm going to reset the votes and bring up the next item, and that is the ATM machine. Is the ATM machine Canadian or not? Now I can see the ATM is cut off there, but you get the idea. We're talking about bank machines. Is that a Canadian invention? I'm going to open the voting right now. Do you think the ATM was invented in Canada? So let's take a look at how we're doing here. We are seeing an overwhelming response Canadian. Right now we're at 17 Canadian, 1 not Canadian. So I know Canada is really good at coming up with technology, hardware and software. I mean, Stage 10 is Canadian technology, which is the platform we're using to make this shoppable show for the Buy Canadian group. And we're seeing a really great response on this one. We're up to 20 votes Canadian, 1 vote not Canadian. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds, and we will stop the voting and reveal the answer. So Alexis also asking, who remembers their first ATM interaction? That's a great question. Let's address that in a second, but first we'll reveal the answer. And the answer is nope. ATM was invented in London, and I assume we're talking about London, England, not beautiful London, Ontario, on the Canadian version of the Slow River. And it was invented in 1967 by Barclays Bank. So I think, yeah, the people of Great Britain have always been great at banking innovations, but so have Canadians, and I'm sure there is some great Canadian inventions in that respect as well. I'm going to reset the votes. Oh, Doug's recollecting his first experience at an ATM at the TD Bank at Yonge and Eglinton. It's interesting. I don't remember my first experience at an ATM. I think I blocked that out. It's almost like robots. Eventually, we'll wonder what life was like before AI bankers and stuff as well. Okay, let's play another round here. The next question is we already reset the votes. The next question is the walkie-talkie. The walkie-talkie. Is the walkie-talkie a Canadian invention? So I remember loving playing with walkie-talkies when I was a kid because you could kind of, pre-cell phones, you could chat with people from a distance. I know that they're big in the production industry, especially traditional production with Stage 10. You don't need walkie-talkies. But when I used to work at CBC, I definitely had walkie-talkies and little headsets, and that was a lot of fun. The privilege of being granted a walkie. Okay, well, people aren't sure here. We're seeing a full-on tie. The votes are 5 for Canadian, 5 for not Canadian. So we are wondering if the walkie-talkie is a Canadian invention. We'll give it a couple more seconds to try to break the tie here. 2, 1, and we're seeing 7 votes not Canadian, 5 votes Canadian, which is pretty darn close, but incorrect. The walkie-talkie is a Canadian invention, and it was developed by the Canadian engineer Donald Hings during World War II. So, it's amazing how sometimes great worldwide events, especially war, unfortunately, does promote innovation. But, Canadians are right there on the edge, and we've been a big part of, all these just wars in the past. Okay, so we have one more, and I'm curious to see if we can get this right. I think right now we are at 7 right, 1 wrong, 6 right, 2 wrong, which is still a great record. So I'm going to reset these votes and bring up the final one of the day. And this one's kind of fun. We are asking you if milk bags, are they Canadian? Bags of milk. Look at that beautiful bag of milk in a pitcher. Is that a Canadian thing? Or does everybody have milk bags? The votes are coming in overwhelmingly. I think, oh my goodness, we have cracked 35 votes already for Canadian. We're up to 40. Everybody seems to know and love and feel the patriotism of the milk bag. Alexa, I remember having them as a kid too, but I mean, the question is, did we create them? Is this a uniquely Canadian thing? Wow, we are setting a new record here for voting. We are up to almost 50 votes Canadian, 55, 57. People are overwhelmingly supportive of the milk bag. We're up to 60 votes Canadian and 0 votes not Canadian. I'm going to stop this voting because this is a wonderful way to end the show. We are, oh, wow. So before I even stopped it, we're up to 66 votes Canadian to 0 votes not Canadian. And yes, my friends, the milk bag is a Canadian invention. It was introduced in Canada in the 1960s as a packaging innovation. So fantastic. Absolutely love that. And I hope you'll come back again for the Buy Canadian Super Hour Live. Go shopping anytime on buycanadiangroup.ca. We're live every Wednesday at noon Eastern time. We like to have fun and games. Next week, it's going to be Jennifer Cummins from Pluck Tea. It's going to be a really fantastic interview. I want to thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you again next week on the Buy Canadian Super Hour. Join us anytime at buycanadiangroup.ca. Have a great week, everybody.